Hello.
Yeah, hi Srikanth.
Yeah, Vinod. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, 1 second. I need to minimize this a small window here. Let me check. How can I minimize this small GoToMeeting screen? Can I do that one?
The right side one you are saying the chat and this all.
Yes, yes,
That's what you
yes.
are saying. You can minimize the complete browser. I think in the browser only you'll get the screen sharing, right?
Okay, okay. Hold on. Let me check. Oh no, why it is going to minimize this one?
Just click
Maybe.
on.
Okay, I will just move that one to. Okay. Okay. Yep.
So you able to see the screen now?
Yes.
Yeah. So here we go is the course content and this, and then before starting this part, as you already, I think you're already aware of the Unix and Linux, right?
Not much. We know only basic commands, around 20 commands to daily work. But, most of my work on Windows servers, we don't have much
Okay,
Unix
okay.
servers, but in future we'll get it. So,
Okay, I got it. Because nowadays, I believe every middleware setup, max percentage is doing on Unix or Linux platforms. I can say you not Unix, so it is completely migrating to Linux now, right? So that's what actually I guess because Unix basics is common for complete Linux players and other Unix also. If you learn the Unix basics, it is applicable for Linux all flavors, that is CentOS, Red Hat, CJ, any flavor of Linux. And if you go for Unix, Solaris, Hibernate, even Macintosh, okay, it is found for all these flavors actually. Okay, so
okay.
this is what, so when you see this course content, so this is what actually the contents which we are going to discuss.
Okay. I'm
So
getting a little bit background noise from your side. Uh,
we don't have any disturbance from my side, even I'm not able to hear any voice.
like a
Are you,
fan sound or something like that.
no, it is not there yet. Just give me a minute. Still you are getting the same?
Yeah, same thing,
Hello.
same noise.
Just give me a minute. Now you are getting the same?
Yeah, I'm getting the same, but
So yes, I closed everything. I hope you are not yes. And your voice is my voice is audible or you are getting
no,
incomplete
your
response?
voice is fine, but just a background noise. Yeah, it's okay now.
Fine. Okay. So just give me a minute.
Yes.
Now
Yeah, it's good.
it's good, right?
Yeah.
Right. Fine. So this is what the content was. So we need to have the basics of Unix and what is shell and what is the type of shells, because always we used to say we are writing a shell script, right? So in the
Yeah.
name itself we are saying shell. So what kind of shell we are currently working for and what is mean by shell if you have understood, and what are the types of shells we have. So if you know about this all, then it would be good enough, and we can proceed with the shell scripts. And so how to identify the shell that suits to your needs. So which shell we can go ahead and users and groups in a shell and permissions. I think you know this point, right? How to
Yeah.
create, yeah.
Um. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Please.
So users and groups in a shell, and see See, when we are working on a system or something, see when we are connected, right? So I think a simple example I can give you, because being a part of an infrastructure of a middleware team, so obviously we are a team member, right? We are a member in a team. That indicates we are a user who belongs to a team, and team is nothing but a group, right? Yes, this is
Yeah,
actually as part of a project. If we consider these would be, but if you see the same example and compare in the server, let's say you are the user who are connecting with some so username. Let's say a user. So a user should be a part of already existing group. Okay, otherwise by default every user will be a part of belongs to a particular group, otherwise it is not at all possible. You're getting the point?
yeah,
Because we are there and we are part of a middleware team. In a similar way, a user who logins to your server, he also by default, if you have not known, or while when you are creating a user and you have not mentioned, so by default the user will be a part of a default group. You're getting?
yeah,
I'll show you. I'll show you. So that's how by default a user should belong. Should, it's must and should actually. So he should belongs to a group, and then based upon the requirement, the permissions is going to be set. Okay.
okay,
And next we have archiving and compression commands. So to compress and for the space issue, so we have to compress the files, and we have to I mean, and we have to archive. So because when we are doing these activities, like when what always we used to do the deployment activities, right? As you are saying just now, like to automate your deployment activity process, right? So when you
yeah,
do this, so as per daily process, so let's say your daily deployment process will happen for around 10, right, 10 times. Let's say 10 deployments daily on a single environment you will proceed. So in that scenario, 10 times your script will execute. So in that scenario, 10 times in the sense 10 times your script will run. So 10 different vars or ER files will be generated, right? So
yeah,
all those information need to be maintained. So let's say in the similar way, not only a single application, all the time when you run your application, and all the time your single application consists of multiple modules. Let's say around 15 to 20, or let's say 10. So 10 into 10. So obviously you can say there is a space issue is coming out here, right? So for every, you're getting the point. So
yeah,
for
yeah,
every you do the deployment, so before doing the deployment you will trigger the bill. So then when you trigger the bill, so it generates around 10 bills, and which is of everything is a var, and which occupies around in MB5. So let's say assume that 1 GB for every assume when you trigger the bell, for every bell you will see 1 GB space is going to be acquired. So in the similar way, based on the requirement, you have triggered 10 bells, okay, in a single day. So it acquires 10 GB. So 10 GB it is acquiring daily. So in that scenario, the space will be increased, right? So we have to make sure that whether we have a free space or not, and we have to write the script in over there saying that we need to maintain only the last or the latest 7 watts, okay, and remove, not remove we can say, and if we have any space in other mount point or somewhere else, so we can move the previous watts, whatever is that, which is uh, um, not latest ones. So we can move those all the VARs files to other directory, and we can maintain the latest one, and we can save over the disk space. You're getting the point.
yeah, yeah, got it.
So this is what actually as per the process, because even I used to do in my organization. So so I have given an example actually. You're getting the point, right?
Yeah,
So I just given an example saying that this is how we used to do. Okay, as per when we have learned this and how to implement a shell script in a real-time scenario, and that's as part of the requirement. So this is one requirement actually. And coming to the regular expressions, yes, you can use. This is a concept actually. So you can use the regular expressions by combining all the commands and to meet our requirements. So that is also a part, and we'll see that. And to identify the process management and job control. So everything in the Linux is completely and purely works on a process. I think you already are aware. Even in a Windows or in any operating system, whatever the activity you are performing, everything is based on a process. Okay.
Okay.
So first we have to understand how to identify the process. I think you aware of the process, the commands, how to check. Let's say if you have let's say a simple example. So you have started your web create server in a Linux environment. Then how did you check whether the server is running or not? From your Linux machine, not from console. So how did you identify?
Okay, that there is a command ps minus ef command, right? So
PS, you are saying PS, right? PS
yeah.
is nothing but process status. So regarding that also we have to know some information. So E for every process and F for the process with respect to the user. Okay. And
Okay.
job controls in the sense, say we have some job control activity like job scheduling, where you can schedule your activity instead of executing manually and checking the status always. You're getting the point. Let's say for every 1 hour you need to execute the command. So instead of executing the same command for every 1 hour, so you can write a script and you can schedule that script to run exactly for every 1 hour. You're getting the point.
Okay.
So that is possible using the job scheduling concept, and that is also I'll show you. That is nothing but cron jobs.
Okay.
Okay. And next, identifying the Linux file system. So this is what a basic funda actually. So the Linux file system, because everything whatever you do, everything by default which is going to be work on the Linux file system only. Okay. So because I'll show you, I just started my machine. So do you know the basics of this or not? Know the
Let's
file.
assume I don't know anything because we just blindly follow a couple of commands, so we don't know much details about those. So
Okay, no problem, no problem. Yeah, fine. So I'll just compare from scratch. So no issues. So see, if you go for Windows environment, when you open the C drive, so when you open the My Computer, you'll see C drive, V drive, E drive, right?
yes.
So these are actually which we are saying in the Windows as drives, but as per the terminology, we should pronounce it as a partition. Okay.
Yeah.
Just if we compare the same concept in Linux, there it differs as file system. That's it. Here we say it as a partition, where that is called as file system over there. You're
Okay.
getting the point?
Yes.
And same thing, same that file system in Linux it is called as file system, in Windows it is called as partitions or drives. And if you go for Solaris or UX, HP UX, where the terminology is different, that is called as slices.
Okay.
You're getting the point?
Yeah.
So you can make a note of those. I think right. So in Windows we can say that it is as partitions,
Okay.
and if you go for Linux, so it is called as file system, and if you go for this Solaris specifically, and HPUX. So we have this is also a server which is HP HP related server, and here we used to say that slices.
What about AX?
AIX is also a part. AIX, whatever we say in Linux, the same things we used to pronounce in AIX also. Okay.
Linux, so file system.
Right. So Linux in IBM AIX both we used to pronounce it as a file system.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. So next terminology. So when you open any of the folder here like this, so you will see the folder structure here, right?
Yes.
So you are able to see these are all called as folders.
Yeah.
But in Linux or in Unix, you will say it as directory. Okay. So we
Okay.
will say it as a directory. Just the terminology is different. There is no folder will exist. Folder in the sense the terminology is not pronounced as folder. It is different. That is called as directory.
Okay.
You getting the point?
Yep.
So
Got it.
what is meant by a partition? What a partition will hold actually?
Our data.
Right. What exactly the meaning? If I ask you what is mean by partition, what exactly a partition
Uh,
is all about? We don't know what exactly.
Partition
How?
is a part of our available disk space, basically.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So see here. So when we are talking about a partition, we can blindly say that partition is a collection of directories and a files. Yes.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
we talk about Windows, then yes, partitions is a concept where it is a collection or it's a group of what number of folders and a files.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yes. Then how can you differentiate among different operating systems? Because in Windows you can say that okay, fine. Because if you go for different operating systems, every operating system will have a file type. You getting? Every operating system will have a file type. So this is what the file type. So with respect to the operating system, every operating system will have a type. So if you go for Windows environment, the file type in Windows environment will be, any idea? So earlier we have FAT16 and FAT32.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And next we have NTFS.
NTF. Yeah.
And if you go for Linux, in Linux the file type you will see as ext or ext2 or ext3 or ext4, or now in the latest you'll see xfs. So in all these ext, ext2, ext3, ext4 and xfs, everything is pronounced as extended file system. You're
Okay.
getting the point?
Yeah.
Everything is called as extended file system.
Okay.
But the versions you are seeing, right, 2, 3, 4, those are with respect to the releases. So I
Okay.
think currently Red Hat, this is with respect to Red Hat I'm saying, yeah. So in Red Hat we have 7, right? Latest is 7,
Yeah.
RHL 7. So in
Okay.
RHL 7 the file type you will see as extended file system, that is XFS.
Okay.
Until RHL 6 you will see the default one is, by default the file system type is ext4. So there are some recommendations there. So the limits, file limits and file system limits with respect to the release. And next, if you go for IBM AX, so you are saying, right, you are asking the IBM AX.
Yeah.
So there you will see it as JFS.
Okay.
You are getting? So
Yeah.
JFS. And if you go for HPUX, so you will see something like HPFS, high performance file system.
Okay.
And if you go for Solaris, I think Solaris boom is now a bit less, right, in the market.
Yeah. I think Linux is picking up, right?
Right, right. So maybe still we have, I think Solaris, Oracle Solaris 11 is already released in the market. I think still some patches is been going on in the beta version. So maybe if it is successful, then if it release in the market, definitely that will be a boom to the market. So
Okay.
let's see. So Solaris. In Solaris, you will see the file system as ZFS, and there is latest one. And if you go for in the old, okay, that is still,
Yeah.
so like 10 version, so you will see the file system type as UFS.
Okay.
Okay, UFS in 10 version, and ZFS you will see, yes, ZFS is also there in 10, and you can, I can say you for clear understanding till version 10.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so actually I am from pure Unix and Linux background, so that's the reason I am giving clear information here.
Okay. So are you working as a Unix administrator? I mean.
No, no, no. Currently, I'm working on complete this Unix, this automation and DevOps and middleware.
Okay.
So this is
So
what actually file types.
okay.
So we have to know this basically. So when you are working on a Linux, by default, whatever you create, any file, so that will be a type of, with respect to the version, that will be a type of external. And if you are working on IBM X, so that will be the type of JFS, that is general file system. And if you are
Okay.
working on a Windows, the file type in the Windows will be NTFS, that is new technology file system.
Yeah.
You getting it?
Yep.
Right. So like this. And next, let's, so resource management, yes, we have. And next, network resources, like how to have the connectivity, SSH, also and so. And next, this is what the main important point, that is text editor. I hope you already aware.
Yeah.
VIM, VIM. This is very, very important. So I'll take 1 day session completely to give the complete the commands inside. Which we are going to access inside the editor, that is VI or VIM. So it's very important, because if we are working on a Linux environment, then definitely we should aware of VI.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, we have other editors too, but everyone will expect that if you know, and if you're working on a Linux or Unix environment for at least 1 year also, they'll expect VI. Okay,
Yes.
right. And next, if we know these all concepts, then we are in a position to write the automation script. Okay, so this
Yes.
is what. So this is what actually the scope, and it will be, if you learn this all, and you will be part of anything. Like if you are a system administrator, it might be a middleware on the Unix admin and application developers and DevOps, the configuration release management and support team and technical leads or something in automation. Specifically, if you're automation related, and web administrators, even in website in web servers also you can write, and a security team. So so if you learn this, it may help you in all these jobs. Okay.
Okay.
Next, so here we go is the basics of Unix. So I hope you got the picture now, right?
Yeah. I got. Yeah. I got the whole picture. Yes. Yeah.
You got right. So that's
Yeah.
what. So I'll show you the basic now. So what exactly the Unix and how it looks like and so and so. Don't think here I have.
If you don't mind, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah. You show me the high level steps. What are you going to cover in this session?
Sure, sure.
So shell scripting. So how many hours you are going to spend on shell scripting, writing shell scripting, and what are the topics inside the shell scripting, like how many techniques, like um, what do you call popularly, that using loops and conditions and all those things, arrays. Are you going to
So
cover all those things?
I'll show you. I think do you, I mean, did you check this complete index sheet of the shell Unix and shell scripting here?
um, I think I don't remember that. Let me check
You can check,
actually.
because we have clearly mentioned our content, what we are going to cover actually.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what. So I think so shell scripting. To open this. whatever the content you are seeing here, so everything is going to be covered in the as part of Unix and Linux shell scripting. Clear?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, got it. Let me. Yeah.
Whatever you have asked me just now,
Oh,
loops,
okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm seeing here. Yeah. Functions and all those things. Yes. Cell
as
functions.
part of training
Vybhava
actually.
Technologies, interactive, online, in-house and corporate training division. Become an automation specialist and expert.
So that's what Vinod.
Okay.
So, so the duration of this course is, and because we need to discuss about this scripting also, right? So if you go
Yeah.
with only scripting, it takes around 2 weeks, and that too if we required with respect to the basics also, Unix commands with respect to the Unix commands and the Unix information. So it takes one more week. So
Okay.
overall I can say you it's 3 weeks.
Okay. 3 weeks. Okay. So, how many days per week? 5 days or?
If you are comfortable in the Saturday Sunday, because even so all the time we may or may not, right? So in the coming days, maybe we are not going to be not available. I mean, we have some Saturday, Sunday. If I am stuck up in the office or something, and let's say if you are available in the weekends also, so I'll I'll inform if I have some any important work or office work or any personal work. But if you are okay with the weekend, then I will commit weekend also. So
Um.
what I'm saying now 3 weeks, that is with respect to not calculating Saturdays and Sundays, that is weekends.
Okay. That means
Only
15 days.
Saturdays, yes, exactly.
Okay. How many hours a day?
Approximately I'm saying, yeah. So you're calculating as 15, but I can say you approximately take more also. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, please. Anything?
So how many hours a day? I mean, how many?
So it will be exactly 1 hour, and based on the topic and based upon the concept, it may extend till 10 or 15 minutes, not more than that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, around 1 hour or 115 minutes. Okay.
That uh, actually 1 hour is enough, but it may based on the concept and based upon the example or so, it may be extended. That's it. I can't give you the assurance, but I can say you the point.
Okay. So each day after class, do I get any assignment to
Yeah,
practice?
sure. Definitely, I'll give you the assignments if you are interested. If you are so that's what if that is the case, what happens is, see, going according to the theory and so on. So my concept will be required completely 1 hour. And if we see day to day, I need to get the information whichever I have given the assignment to you, right, in the last
Yeah.
session or so. So I should so I'm waiting for the update on the same, right? So it may take 5 to 10 minutes because I need to what help you in that also if you are wrong, if you are not able to find the solution for that or not, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So definitely I'll give you the assignments with respect to the scripts, what exactly we are learning here, and which will be implemented in the real time scenarios. I'll explain.
Okay. Okay. That's good. And also, do you get any material?
Yes, we have a material here. You'll get.
So, I mean, are you going to share that one, right? Whatever's um,
Oh,
uh, course material?
right. Sure, definitely. I'll share you.
Okay. Okay.
So anything else?
Um, Yeah, that's all. I think I think I may not available on weekends, Srikanth. Only weekdays, Monday to Friday. I'm available. I mean, Monday to Friday means I think you are in India, right? So your timing Sunday to uh, I think you are, yeah, that's right. Monday to Friday, your time. Yeah, my time is Sunday to Thursday.
Right, right.
Weekends, I'm doubtful because it's a summer here and I have two kids, so it may not be possible. So that's why I can't
Okay,
promise on that.
we can adjust that. So apart from this, and do you have any queries on the course content or anything else?
Uh, I think you showed me the objectives. So are you going to show me the? You continue your stuff. So then I'll get any questions I'll ask you.
So that's what action is. If so, you want me to give the complete content you are saying, or so you can see the content from this site. So everything is available. So instead of explaining everything inside here, so the
Yeah,
course
yeah.
content, everything, whatever in here, everything will be a part of this course. Okay. So AWS, actually AWK, it's an advanced shell scripting. So we have included in the same also here. So you'll get all those things.
Okay.
So this is what actually in the market it is available as advanced shell scripting. AWK and SCD and something else. But we have included that too in this course.
Okay.
And one more point I just want to mention, because I don't think the networking of some file system concept will be a part of shell scripting. So no one will share this concept also. Okay,
Okay.
network. And coming to the course. So before proceeding with this Linux and Unix, so this is what the basic that I need to push. I need to share actually. So this is what actually when we proceed with the Unix operating system. So this is how you will see actually. Okay. So I have a simple diagram to show you. I think you're already aware of the architecture of Unix, right?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Right. So this is how it will look like actually. So in Windows, if you go, so when we have a hardware. Let's say we need to set up a new environment in Windows. So how you will install the OS on a hardware, right?
And hardware. Yes.
So hardware. So once your operating system is installed, the user can directly interact with that. But if you go for Unix or Linux, it goes a bit different. So hardware is available, but on top of that you will install the operating system. But user will not interact with the complete operating system directly, because so this is keeping in mind, like saying that all the end users in the sense, not the other people, the third party people within the team, we are going to have multiple members, right? I mean. Some people will be in the on-site, and some people will be in the offshore, and the server will be configured and placed by the organization people, and where we don't have the physical access of the server. You're getting the point?
Yeah.
I think you are. I think you are aware of this PuTTY SSH access,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I think even in Windows also you are seeing you are accessing the same, right?
Um, for Windows, yeah, we don't use PuTTY. We just we remote desktop on Windows
Right.
machine. Yeah.
The remote job you're saying, you're fine. So that's what I'm saying. So we don't have the physical access directly in all the ways in the scenarios here. So we used to go things. So I'll say that. So this is how you'll see the environment actually. So user will always interact with the shell actually. Even though if you are having the this desktop, that is GUI, the user will always interact with the operating system using shell. You're
Okay.
getting the point?
Yeah.
I'll say what exactly the shell and what the meaning of the shell and how it look like, okay, and what are the different types of shells we have, and let's say if I'm working on Linux, and what will be the shell, if I'm working on IBM, what will be the shell, and like that. I'll show you what everything, but before going to that, the small stuff we have here, I'll show you to
Okay.
understand the shell. So if you go for run prompt and type command, what exactly this is called as
Yeah, MS. Yeah, that's a DOS prompt, MS-DOS.
Yes, DOS prompt, right? So
Yeah.
here in even we can say that command prompt in Windows, but in Linux we used to say that shell prompt.
Okay.
You're getting the point? I'll show you.
Yep. Got it. Yeah.
We have started my mission, so I'll show you. So this is what my Linux operating system, which is Red Hat 6, and how to open my shell here. So just right click on this. Is if you are having access, if you are having the desktop access, then only you can open like this. So right click and open terminal. So you have to open the terminals. Inside that you will see your shell, or otherwise you can go with applications, system tools, terminal.
Okay.
Okay, or if
So
not you can use Alt F2. So run application like in Windows command, Windows key plus R, right? It opens command run prompt. In the
yeah.
similar way here on run prompt, you have to use Alt F2 and type genome icon terminal. You're getting?
Yeah.
So just do this and just click on run. So this is what we are seeing on the screen as a shell prompt. The one which you are seeing on the left side with the hash prompt or something. So for on any server we are going to have two users, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
One is what administrator and one is the normal user, that is non-administrator.
Yeah.
And for always for administrators you will see the prompt. I am saying the prompt importance here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in the
So
Windows, so you will see the prompt as like this, and this is called as command prompt. And this is same for both the users, for admin and non-admin. So for both the people you will see the same prompt.
yeah.
Yes, but if you go for Unix or Linux, the prompt will differ with respect to users. If the user is administrator, then the shell prompt will be ready.
Yeah.
If he is an user, let's say user shell prompt, that will be dollar. Ready?
Yeah.
And let's say even you might see some other things also, that is in rare cases you will see percentile also. Okay, and even these prompts also we can change, but this is not at all been recommended by any things, and whoever is a part of administrators, okay, who are good in administrations, they can change and they can work on this. But this is not at all important, and it won't change any functionality. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is what actually the prompt importance. So whenever you see the prompt as hash, that is administrator, whenever you see the dollar, that indicates it's a non-administrator. So I hope you are able to see the thing here. So what prompt you are seeing?
Yeah. Hash.
So that is nothing but administrator is logged in here. And let's say when you are seeing the left side, so the for complete base thing also we have an importance. So I am explaining you that also here. So we have the prompt here as what? So the prompt we are able to see as like this, right?
Yeah.
Put @ let's say something like this, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So this is very important because everyone will work on the Linux, but no one knows what exactly the meaning of this. So this is what we are seeing here. So here the first one which you are seeing, instead of root also, in place of root, whatever might be, so that is a place that is actually the username. Ready?
Okay.
So in this place, the first one which you are seeing, this is represents the user who logged into your machine.
Okay.
And next, at the rate, you are seeing send OS here. It's nothing but the name of your host machine. Race host name. Getting the point?
Yes.
And the one you are seeing, it is this tilde symbol, and which is nothing but default format. That you will understand in next session. You are getting the point?
Yes. Yes.
So this is
Okay.
what meant, and so, and if we go for shell, what is mean by shell? Let's say. So if I ask you what is command prompt, how can you explain that? So you are clear with me, right?
Yep. Yep.
Fine, right?
Yeah.
Just to compare. So Windows directly, even see if you are working on a DOS environment, definitely we have to log in the DOS front and we have to connect, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That indicates there is no GUI exists and we always need to interact with the machine using commands.
Yeah.
So here also same thing. If we don't have the GUI environment, then we always need to interact with the machine using commands. That is at what? Shell front. That is like this. If it is in Linux or Unix, you have to communicate with the machine using this prompt. At shell prompt, you will be interacted by executing the commands. If it is in case of Windows, you will see the prompt as this, and here you will execute the commands.
Okay. So shell is equivalent to Windows MS DOS.
I'm just comparing you to understand fastly. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting the point. So I'm just comparing you to give more information you can understand quickly. So that's the reason I'm saying you. And
Yeah. Yeah.
even you
Yeah.
can say yes, I can say the answer yes. That is
Yeah.
similar to the command prompt, but here we have some different. But if you go with command prompt, we don't have multiple command prompts. We have only unique command prompt, whereas in shells we have multiple shells actually. But if we
Okay.
know the meaning of shell, what exactly the meaning of shell? So if I ask you, that's what I'm asking you. What exactly the meaning? What exactly? I don't know what exactly the command prompt. So how can you give the answer for that?
Okay.
So you're getting the point, right?
Yeah.
So what exactly it would be? So whatever the commands, always shell is an interpreter. Shell is an interpreter. So whatever the user is going to enter the commands at shell prompt will be interpreted with the kernel. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
So whatever, see, let's say I want to know which location I am there here. Getting the point. If it is in Windows, I can directly access like this, and by seeing this the path here, I can understand I am there in so and so location. But if I go with the command, so I should know the command. So let's say I know the command pwd, that is present working directory. So I just want to know which directory I currently resides. So if I view this, see I am getting the path. So currently you are resides in this so and so directory, right? But see the motto here, we are executing the command this pwd at shell prompt. So what is happening after that, and so that I am getting the output. Hello,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're getting the point, right?
Yes.
So whatever, see, shell is an interpreter which always interacts which always interacts with the kernel. Kernel is nothing but operating system. I'll say you.
Okay.
What exactly internal meaning of kernel, I'll say you, but for time being you can say that whatever the commands which is going to be entered by the user, okay, at the shell prompt, that will be interpreted with what? Kernel. So kernel internally will interact with your hardware devices so that you will get the output, and that output will be displayed on the screen, and that
Oh,
output you are seen as slash.
okay. One question here. So when you give the when you give the I mean command here with shell, so that is input. You are giving input in shell, and output is coming from kernel.
Yes.
Okay.
See, it's a whatever the point you are saying, it's okay, but kernel will not show you anything because you don't have direct connectivity with the kernel, right?
Okay.
The point which you said is correct, but I can say you every operating system will have a kernel. First point, not only Unix or Linux. Remember this point, okay? In
Okay.
Linux, it's not specific to Linux or Unix. Even in Windows also you will have a kernel, but no one will specify. So
Yeah.
kernel is a concept where it is a internal operating system management process. Okay, complete internal process management of your operating system, where it manages all your memory management, disk management, process management. Okay, some internal whatever is there. Everything will be taken care by the kernel and internal process, and once the process is done it will be thrown the output to the requester. You're getting the point?
Yeah.
So we always see only the interactor. So how the user is interacting with the operating system. So how we
Oh.
are interacting? Via shell prompt.
Shell. Okay. Okay, so let me put this way. So when you issue the command in shell, shell will talk to kernel, and kernel then give output to shell, and shell will show us the whatever the results.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't see the kernel and we don't talk to kernel. So everything is done by shell.
We are not at all aware of that, but for a concept wise, we can say that yes,
Okay.
we always interact with the hardware resources
Okay.
to process our request. It's clear?
Yeah. Clear. Yeah.
So if we go with the types of shells, so we have multiple shells actually. So bash shell, bourne shell, worm shell, C shell. There is other shells also, and we can say that PCSH shell, something. So if these are all different types of shells actually. So you got the basic fund of shell, right?
Yeah.
Shell and as well as kernel also. Yes,
Yeah.
it is an interpreter. It is an interpreter
Between user and kernel.
we can say that OS. What is the duty? Interpreter in the sense?
So it will interpret things so which we don't understand, right? So that only understand.
Translator you can say. Because the commands which we are executing here is understood by we people, but every operating system will understand only one language, that is called as machine language, that is zeros and ones. Okay? And kernel will it takes request from the shell. Okay. Next point is and process a request with hardware resources. And once the request has been processed, then after processing the result or outcome is shared to. So from where we got the request, there it will be shown. Is it clear?
Yes, one question here. So is kernel is nothing but an operating system, or is a different component?
I'll say you. We have a concept. See that. So this is what the meaning and the duty of kernel.
Okay, so this is different. Okay, it interacts directly with the operating system. Okay.
And, every operating system will have a kernel.
We have a
So
kernel.
now a person who is not at all being a part of operating system, he is not at all aware of operating system knowledge. So he is simply think that like saying everything is taken care by operating system. But internally operating system is having a component, I can say you a part where it is called as kernel, and it processes everything. It manages everything. Very good point.
Yeah.
So this is what mentions with respect to the kernel, what exactly it does: memory things, process scheduling, file management, it even interrupt handling, input-output services, and system. So everything internally, whatever is possible within the OS, everything is taken care of. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So this is what. So tomorrow I'll say this bash and this all importance of the shell. I'll show you how to identify which shell we are currently working using commands. And once this is completed, and before going to this next topic, so you have to understand this topic actually. This one. Are you already aware of this?
No.
So let's say if you go for Windows environment, directly when you click on my computer, you'll see the structure. That is C drive, D drive, E drive, and so on. And when you open any of the drive, you'll see the points, right? So for understanding purpose, I can say a simple point to differentiate the file structure in Windows. It is called as folder structure. Ready?
Yeah.
If we go for Unix or Linux, the file structure where it would be inverted tree structure. So this is what actually I'll show you. So is that able to, are you able to see the structure as an invert tree or anything else? Generally the tree will look like as a root is at the bottom and the branches is at top, right? But here somewhat it is reverse to that, right?
Yeah.
Root is standing at the top and branches are at the bottom. So that's the reason it is termed as invert tree structure. Okay.
Okay.
So until and unless we know these directories, even if we know the commands or something else, also it is meaningless. Okay. If we are good and if we are aware of this structure, okay, then only we can easily understand what exactly and what is happening inside. Ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what Vinod. So any queries you have, so I'll continue the session tomorrow from here. So any queries you have with respect to today's session or coming sessions or anything, please let me know.
Okay. Um, I won't be available on Friday. My Friday, I mean, I think it was Saturday morning.
Okay.
Because I have a production thing going on.
Okay.
I think tomorrow is fine, and then we can after that we can resume from Monday.
Okay. I think it is Tuesday for me, because as you're saying, you are not going to available in your.
No, not my Monday, your Monday. So your Monday means my Sunday night.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and
Sure.
what time is good for you?
I'll inform to my management so that they'll update you.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not exactly going to say now. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. And
So yeah, please.
one more thing is, can I record this one?
So that is it's up to you. Just talk with the management once again regarding that.
Okay.
So I'm uh, going to say any point regarding that. So
Okay.
if anything, you can.
Okay, definitely, definitely. I'll, yeah. And also one more question, Srikanth, if you don't mind.
Yes.
See, I'm working as a middleware administrator. I know the roles is going to change in the IT industry. That's what I'm starting to learn, Unix, shell scripting, all those things. From middleware administrator to become a DevOps admin role. So what should I learn? Do you have any suggestion?
Yeah, I'll guide you, because so you're saying like you want to change your complete profile from Mailware to DevOps. That's what you're saying.
Not completely, because definitely we are going to our roles are going to change. Is it DevOps is not a separate role in some companies, not on all companies. So usually system admins or middleware admins is going, because my management also pushing to through that. So I don't know how to become that one. So what should we learn apart from Unix shell scripting?
So there are things I'll show you in the course while we are having the sessions, right? So
Yeah.
I'll show you what is the need for DevOps perspective. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other queries?
That's fine. I'm fine. No more questions. So then I will talk to Mrs. Sailaja, right? She's a coordinator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Thanks, Vinod.
Okay, and one more question. Sorry, before you go.
Yeah, please.
Uh, to practice this one, what should I install on my machine?
Right. So I'll say tomorrow regarding the same. So laptop, right?
Yes.
So for time being, what you do is install VMware or virtual Oracle VirtualBox.
Okay.
So install any of the software, and once you
Okay.
are done, just let me know.
Okay. So I mean, what Linux flavor? Ubuntu or Red Hat? Anything is fine, right?
Anything is fine, no issues,
Okay.
because we are doing the shell scripting, right? So
Yes.
anything, if it is administration, then that will be good. Okay.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank. Yeah.
Thanks, Vinod.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.